Hello, this is a short uh, little hello. This is a short little description of the thesis defense, what happens and what you can do. You should present your thesis. It should not be too long. Between 5 and 10 minutes will perfectly do. Maybe 5 to 7 minutes is even better, unless you really think you have something good to say. You can use slides. I would advise you to use some slides. Use no more than 5 to 7 slides and tell your own story about the thesis. This description, it can contain maybe just a short summary of your findings. You can say what is really important here, what have I learned, what can other people learn from it. You can also say something about your weaknesses of the thesis. And you can even come to some suggestion of what you could have done differently and what you could have done had you had more time or more resources. Most important is actually that you appear to have a good understanding of the main storyline and the main findings and the main learning of the thesis. So that's really what is it's most important. For displaying your presentation, you can use slides. It can be paper handouts. Most people, they just have the computer and they turn it around for the censor and the examiner to see it. You can also use the slide projector, but sometimes it's technical problems can be a little bit difficult, so it may not really be worth it setting up the projector for these few slides. But it is good that if you can make a good, clear presentation. Maybe something was a bit complex in the thesis, and maybe you can say that in an easy way so that censor really gets the story. On the other hand, most of the grade is based on the written word. In fact, far most of the grade. So it's not so important that you do a good job. So just don't be too nervous. Just take it easy. You're almost there. Just present it, make a good story, make it clear that you know what you're talking about. Then you can do the exam in English or in Danish. A lot of people, they write in English and they also think they should do it in English even if they are Danish. Of course, if English is the only language that you can handle and you don't have the option of doing it in Danish, then there's no choice. But if you can do some of it in Danish, it's sometimes an advantage, because if you do get nervous, even if you are good English speakers, it is sometimes a little bit easier to do it in Danish. At least that's my experience, that people do a little bit better if they choose to do it in Danish, if they are having English as a second language, even if they're good. Okay, the last thing is the questions. There will be some questions after after you present your slides, and I will ask most of the questions. And these questions are mainly intended to show the best side of you. So I'm not going to ask you trick questions or any very hard question unless I feel that you may be able to stretch it a little bit to go even further. So prove that you're a really good student. But censor can also have some questions, and that depends very much how the censor react. Some censors are more active, some are very passive. That's very difficult to say in advance how they will act. They could also have something very specific that they're specifically interested in. So that's it. Main point is, present a good story, clear, easily to understand, and don't be too nervous, because most of the work you already done. This is just, the final thing. Can we actually maybe move your grade one or more likely half to the one or the other side?